Hi folks, welcome to today's color process video. Right, so getting right down to it, today's comic I am very happy with in terms of both the line art and the colors. It was just one of those comics that everything came together beautifully from coming up with the concept to doing the actual drawing itself. It took me quite a few hours to get this one done, but I'm sure you can you can agree with me when I say it was definitely well worth it. When it comes to the color choices I used in this comic, again, as I've said so many times before, you're probably sick of me saying this at this point, but it's really just me laying down colors and toying around with them until things begin to work, almost like slotting a jigsaw piece together, a jigsaw puzzle together, rather. Um, like I had no idea going in what kind of color scheme I was going to use, what the lighting would look like. So yeah, everything you see here, I just worked out over the course of the color process. I suppose one thing you'll notice across a lot of my comics, and you'll see it here, is I very much like to have repeating colors. I've said this before, but if you look at the first panel, the second panel, and the final panel, I have the same color for the sky in the first two panels, and just the general background for the final panel. As you can see in the video, I don't know what point you're at, so maybe you're not there yet. But anyways, as you can see in the video, for that final panel, I was thinking of going for more of a blue color, but there wasn't enough of a contrast between it and the blood shooting out of the senator's nose. So I had to toy around with it until I got a color I liked. And just when I tried the color I used for the sky, or rather skies, in the first two panels, it just clicked. Like everything just worked. Like everything just kind of slotted together, you know. With the first panel, that was actually a lot of fun to work on with regards getting the lighting rendered in such a way that looked good. You know, that got across the TV, the lighting of the TV on the professor's face, and even having the professor being backlit from the lighting coming from through the windows from outside. Originally, for that scene, I was going to have the sky be just, you know, the typical blue, to just have it look like it's set during the daytime. However, when I toyed around with the colors, just something about the kind of yellowish green kind of color I went with just worked for me. You know, it just looked nice, and it kind of almost looks like gives the impression that the scene is set maybe very early in the morning. So I tinkered with the lighting in the room to reflect that, basically. So everything is more it's darker looking, the room, say. Like I originally intended on the room being fairly well lit, like so well lit in fact that the the light from the TV screen wouldn't have much, if any, of an effect on Charles and his like weird chair thing. And even you can see the lighting I added to the desk. Originally that wasn't going to be a thing at all, but just once I changed the sky to that color, just everything started coming together there with regards to my color choices for the lighting. And you know, and it just made it really interesting as well, having, you know, these two light sources, like having the light from the TV, but also having the light coming in from the window behind Charles. And it just made for nice shadow effects. Say, like you can see on the floor, that you can see some of the window frame is in shadow, like on the floor, and just, yeah, it looks nice. With the rest of the comic, there's not really all that much I can say beyond what I said there. I mean, it's pretty much the same process throughout. With the one thing I will point out is the third panel, the way I have Charles rendered there. where he's like very desaturated. I was originally going to have him be far more saturated looking. I was thinking about having him rendered entirely in like fairly vibrant reds to get across how, obviously how angry he is in that particular moment. However, that didn't really work for me, and I just kept desaturating the colors, like basically, moving the slider down and down and down and down. And I got it to the point where it was almost grayscale, and just something about that looked really nice. It kind of it just makes that moment look more apart from everything else. Like it kind of may almost give the reader pause when they look at that bit before they move on to the subsequent panels. So yeah, I love toying around with stuff like that, where you'll have a comic that has hugely vibrant colors throughout, and then you'll have this like one moment where everything is like almost grayscale. It's so desaturated, and I love little moments like that. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll see you next time.